This is Casey, and I'm One Mellow Marigold. Let's talk today about scarification. Hey folks, so glad to have you here with me today on this beautiful spring day. The weather is cool, but the sun is out, and in my book, that is a great day to do yard work. So for any of you who caught my seedling care video, you will remember that there was one seed in particular that I could not get to germinate. Not one seed, not one cell. And those were my canary climbers. These are the flowers I picked up this year on a whim. They looked pretty. I knew I had a trellis and I just wanted to give them a go. So I didn't really research anything about them or the proper way to grow. And I'm a fairly experimental gardener in some respects. I'm not afraid to just chuck some seeds in the soil. And so if I get 50% germination for a particular plant one year, as long as I got enough seedlings out of it, I'm probably not going to worry about it too much. But when nothing germinates, not even a little bit, then I know I got a bigger problem that I have to figure out. So I did some research, did some Googling, and I learned about scarification. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to scarify my little climber seeds. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. And then we'll check back later and see how the germination goes. Okay, so what is scarification, folks? Scarification normally happens in nature. Scarification happens, for example, when a seed is in the ground and it freezes over the winter, and then when the spring thaw and summer comes, it gets warmed up. And that process weakens the outside of the seed shell, making it easier to germinate. It could also be an instance where animals might be eating the fruit or the seeds themselves. And when they pop them out the other end, that also helps weaken the seed pod to make it easier to germinate. When we're growing seeds indoors, we don't have the luxury of frosts and the springs and animals. So we kind of have to do this ourselves. And most seeds aren't going to need this, but these canary climbers I'm working with do. So how we scarify something, we can either apply warmth, we can apply tools to the seed, or we can apply chemicals. I am going to be using tools. I will not be using warmth or chemicals in this video. Some examples of seeds that may need scarification include nasturtiums and morning glories, and I did find out that the canary climber is a relative of the nasturtium. Also butterfly weed, lupine, columbine, and then trees, chestnut, black walnut, and hickory trees also are examples. We've got all the supplies I think we're going to need. I am going to be using just nail clippers, and then I'm also going to try sandpaper. So it's just a little swatch of fine sandpaper I had in the basement. And then of course I have my plug trays, and I have popped holes in them about a 1/2 inch deep. And of course I got my seeds. It's kind of a windy day, so I'm going to leave my seeds in the packet and just do one at a time. I'm going to do a couple with sandpaper and a couple with the nail clippers. So here is that little bitty seed. And when you look at it up close, it kind of reminds me of a coffee bean a little bit. It is super hard. It's got lots of ridges in it. And I guess what we're going to do is we're going to take the sandpaper and we are just going to scratch up the outside edges. The idea, as I understand it, is to rough up the outside and put little fractures in it, but we don't want to actually damage anything on the inside. So it's a little funky to work with. You know what? I wonder if I just did this. Hilda's got her squeaky ball. So when I do that, I can start to see the lighter color underneath the seed, and I think that's ultimately what we want. Hilda, thank you. All right, I'm gonna pop that one in some soil, cover it up, see how it does. Now let's try the nail clippers. My understanding of the nail clippers is that we are just like popping off a tiny little bit of like one of these outside ridges. So I'm gonna just sort of maneuver. Oh, and boom, there we go. And you can just see the inside. Stick that in the dirt. I don't really take much off there. There we go. Sometimes it's hard to find a good spot. There we go. Just like that, scarification. Let's hope it works. I'm kind of excited. I'm especially excited to see which works better, the sandpaper or the clippers, or neither. I'm gonna go put these up under the seed mat and under the fluorescent lights. We'll give them a couple weeks and I'll check back in and let you know how everything went. And that's it then, folks. If you found this helpful, go ahead and give me a like. If you have tried this method before and had either success or failure, I would love to hear about it. Go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. And of course, if you're on this weird journey with me, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. And as always, love you guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.